משכנותיך ישראל, ואני ברוב חסדך, אבוא ביתך, אשתחווה אל חיקך כל שעה, ביראתך, מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל, מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. אדוני אהבתי מאוד ביתך, ומקום משכן כבודך, אני אשתחווה ואקרא אליך לפני אדוני עושי. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל, מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. ואני תפילתי לך אדוני, עת רצון אלוקים ברוב חסדך עליני, באמת אישך, מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל, מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. Please be seated from the bottom of page 122. Eternal God, we come before you surrounded by members of our community. With them, we share our happiness and it becomes greater, our troubles and they become smaller. May we never be too mean to give nor too proud to receive, for in giving and receiving, we discover you and begin to understand the meaning of life. It does not separate ourselves from the true strength of our community, the experience and wisdom of old people, the hopes of the young, and examples of care and courage which sustain us. Give us an open mind and a generous heart to welcome those who need us and to admit your presence into our daily life. Revere God in all that we do, privately as well as publicly, acknowledge the truth and speak it in our hearts. ריבון כל העולמים, לא על צדקותינו אנחנו מפילים תחנוננו לפניך, כי על רחמיך הרבים. מה אנחנו, מה חיינו, מה חסדנו, מה ישועתנו, מה צדקנו, מה כוחנו, מה גבורתנו, מה נאמר לפניך, אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו. הלא כל הגיבורים כעין לפניך, ואנשי השם כבלוך היו, חכמים כבלי מדע, בונים כבלי השכל. כי רוב מעשיך הוא, ימי חיינו, הבל לפניך, ומותח האדם מן הבהמה עין, כי הכל הבל. Over the page, please read together. Blessed we are your people, and call to your service. Ashvenu, Ashvenu, Matov, Matov, Matov Telkenu. Ashvenu, Ashvenu, Matov, Matov, Matov Telkenu. Umanayim, Umanayim, Umanayim Goralenu. Umanayim, Umanayim, Umanayim Goralenu. Umanayim, Umanayim, Umanayim Goralenu. Umanayim, Umanayim, Umanayim Goralenu. Mayafa, 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 Yerushatenu. Ashreinu, ma yafa, ma yafa, ma yafa, ma yafa, ma yafa, Yerushalteinu, Ashreinu. Baruch Shema Haya Haolam, Baruch Hu, Baruch Et Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Hamulad B'fi Amo, Mushabam Torah B'Shon Chasidav Avadav, Mishvachot V'Mir Galecha V'Amlichacha, Malkenu Yakid Hei Haolamim, Baruch Et Adonai Melech Muchulal B'Tishvachot. 125. This is a text from Solomon Ibn Gabriel, medieval Jewish poet from medieval Spain. It's a nice thing of this Siddur that it's really a mosaic. They've pulled text from all across Jewish history, and you don't necessarily know that just on the page. It all seems to neatly fit together. But I do recommend, if you haven't done that yourself, start with footnotes. Yeah. Not many Siddurim, I don't know any other ones that have footnotes. The Reform movement doesn't do it, so you can't trace your steps, you can't work out where it comes from. But John Rayner was very academic about it. It's actually really, really interesting to kind of see how it's put together. So on page 125, maybe we'll read together. At dawn and dusk I seek you, reach out and look to you. With soul athirst I yearn for you. I'm a beggar at your door. The galaxies cannot contain you. You dwell in my innermost being. I hold your glory in your heart. My love for you exceeds my speech. So I will praise your name, Eternal One, as long as your breath of life remains within me. Praise be the Eternal One forever. Amen and amen. Praise be the Eternal One, the God of Israel, who does wonderful things. Let God's glorious name be praised forever, and let the whole earth be filled with God's glory. Amen and amen. Hi, welcome. Bottom of page 125. Nishmat kol chai, tevarek et shimcha, Adonai Eloheinu, v'ruach kol basar, tevarek u'tomem, zivracha malkeinu tamid. Ha'olam ve'at ha'olam ata el ata el. On page 126. God of all ages, of all generations, of all creatures, to whom our praise ascends, you guide the world with constant love, your children with tender care. To you alone we give thanks. And just take this line in the Hebrew, it's about 7 lines down. Ilu finu maleh shira kayam. And we'll just sing this, and I'll just teach it to you. It's a nice sort of simple song. So it sort of puts an oo after each word. First 2 words go like this. Ilu finu lulu maleh shira kayam. That's right. Ilululu, finululu, male, shirakayam. Again. Ilululu, finululu, male, shirakayam. So that was the first time, now second time. Okay? That's part 1. Ilululu, finululu, male, shirakayam. Ilululu, finululu, male, shirakayam. Part 2 goes like this. Ilu, finu, male, shirakayam. Let's try that. Ilu, finu, male, shirakayam. Ilu, finu, male, shirakayam. Maybe we'll do that that in future. And the two parts go together, but maybe that's enough for now. So we'll read together on the middle of 126. Yet, though our mouths should overflow with song as the sea, our tongues with exaltation as the roaring waves, and our lips with praise as heaven's wide expanse. And though our eyes shine as the sun and the moon, our eyes spread forth like the wings of eagles, and our feet freed swiftly as our hinds, still we could not fully thank you, eternal God, for your infinite kindness to our ancestors and to us. Therefore, the limbs you have formed in us, the spirit you have breathed into us, and the tongue you have set in our mouths, all shall unite to thank and praise, extol you, God. Every mouth shall thank you, every tongue bear witness to you.
Every knee shall bend to you, every body bow down to you, every heart shall revere you, and every fibre of our being shall sing your praise.
So it is written, all my bones shall say, who is like you, Eternal One? Therefore we extol you and proclaim your glory and praise your holy name, as it is said, praise the Eternal One, O my soul. Let all that is within me praise God's holy name. Please let's sing together. I'm not choir today, I'm just service leader, so please do sing together. 1, 2, 7. Adonai malach geut lavesh Adonai os hitazak avtikon tevel baltimos nachon kisaf meyas meolam ata nasau nacharot Adonai nasau nacharot Yisau nacharot akyam mikolot mayim rabim alirim mishnayam ade bamaro Adonai Eidotecha nemnu meod leveitcha Adonai leorech yamim, Adonai leorech yamim. Please rise. Yishtabach shimcha le'ad malkeinu, ha'el ha'melech ha'gadol v'ha'kadosh, v'shamayim u'ba'aretz, כי לכנו אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו שהושבחה הלל וזמרה ברכות וחודות מעתה ועד עולם ברוך אתה אדוני הבוהר בשירי זמרה. And let's turn to page 135 of Baruch Hu, the formal call to prayer. Do the tune of the Lincoln. Nine, 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 Bye.
you're back there, I thought you were doing extra devout bowing, which is all encouraged.
So we're on page 136. Let's try and read together in the Hebrew if possible. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzeh or uvrei choshech, oseh shalom uvrei et hakol, hameir la'aretz udarim alecha rachamim, uvtuvo mechadesh b'kol yom tamid, ma'aseh b'reishit, ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam b'chokhma asisa, malah ha'aretz kinenecha. תתברך אדוני אלוהינו על שבח מעשה ידיך על ממורי אור שעשית יפרוך סלע ברוך אתה אדוני יוצא האורות. Let's read in English. Great is your love for us, eternal God, and abundant your compassion. Our ancestors trusted in you, and you taught them the laws of life. So be gracious to us and teach us. Incline our hearts to hear your words, to know and understand, to love and teach, and with love to uphold the truths of your Torah. Enlighten us with your teaching. Make us faithful to your commandments and wholehearted in the love and awe of your name. For in love you summon us to serve you and proclaim your unity. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher ba'amo Yisrael b'chava. Stand if you would like to, or sit, it's up to you.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta es Adonai Elohecha, בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מספך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בהם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ושוכבך וקומך, ופשטם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיו, הייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. מת ויציב וישר וקיים וטוב ויפה הדבר הזה, עלינו לעולם ועד. אמת שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, מלכנו ומלך אבותינו, ימסכנו נשוא ישועתנו, חודנו מצילנו מעולם הוא שמך, אין אלוהים זולתך. אמת אתה הוא ראשון, אתה הוא אחרון, מלבדך אין לנו משיח. מצרים גאלתנו, אדוני אלוהינו, מבית עבדים הוציאנו, משה ומרים ובני ישראל, לחנו שירה שמחה רבה, ואמרו כולם, מי כמוך בעלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, נורא תהילות, נורא תהילות, אוסף אלי. שירה חדשה שבחו גאולים, לשמך שפת הים, יחד כולם הודו והמליכו, ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ידעי
Israel, ma bezrat Israel, golenu Adonai tzvot shemo, kadosh Israel, baruch atah Adonai, Yal Yisrael. Please stand for Amidah on page 114. We're chanting the first part of it as many of the student rabbis and other service leaders, I think, are used to it, so hopefully that will, if it's not familiar already, it will become familiar in the coming months. I think it already is for many of you. Adonai Sefer Tivta Ufi Yagid Tefilateh Adonai Sefer Tivta Ufi Yagid Tefilateha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah El Hagadol Hagibur Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chazadim Tovim V'koneh HaKol Zocher Chazei Avot Ve'imahot Umevi Gula Livnei Bneihem L'ma'an Shamo Ve'achava Melech Hosei U'Mashiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai V'hayei Meitim Tacham Hoshia Mashiv HaRuach U'marit HaGeshem Mazriach HaShemesh U'marit HaTal Machakel Chayim B'Chesed Mechayei Meitim B'Rachamim Rabim Somek Noflim Barofeh Cholim Umatzir Asurim Umakayem Emunato Lishnei Afar Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot Umidom Elach Melech Memit Umchayei Umatzmiya Yeshua V'ne'emanat al Chayot Mitim Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei HaMeitim. So we could do the tune of Eresh Hashanah. I'll just sing it to Lala first. Dai da da dai 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 Yai dai da da dai 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 Yai da da dai dai da 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 dai Yai da da dai 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 Yai da da dai 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 Yai da 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 dai 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 Yai da da dai dai da 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 dai Yai da da dai 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 Nekadesh et Shimcha ba'olam Kashem shamakdishim oto Bishmei marom Hakatuv Ayad Neviyeha Al Yad Neviyeha Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh Adonai Sebaot Velo Kol Haaretz
Makim anaknu la Yimloch Adonai leolam Elohai Yixzion L'dor v'dor Hallelujah L'dor v'dor L'dor v'dor L'dor v'dor nagid golecha L'dor v'dor L'dor v'dor L'dor v'dor nagid golecha Ulenetzach netzachim kedushatcha nagdish kedushatcha nagdish V'shivchacha Eloheinu mipinu lo yamush le'olam va'ed L'dor v'dor L'dor v'dor L'dor v'dor nagid golecha L'dor v'dor L'dor v'dor nagid golecha Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
Please be seated, if you'd like to. Bottom of page 142. You inspired our ancestors to hallow this day for your service. When, upon its coming, we pause to contemplate our life, we learn anew we do not live by bread alone, but also by the spiritual nourishment we receive when we open ourselves to your influence. We thank you for the Sabbath day and for the opportunity it offers to enhance the quality of our lives. We thank you for its joy and for its peace. May our worship help us to take into our hearts this message of holiness and consecrate all our days by devotion to what is true, beautiful, and good.
Yismachu b'malchutcha, Yismachu b'malchutcha, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei Onek, Am Kadshei Shvi, Am Kadshei Shvi, Kulam Yispahu v'yizamgu mituvecha, v'chashvi rasita bo v'kidashto, v'chashvi rasita bo v'kidashto, chendat yamim oto kalata zecher Lamase Bereshit.
Let's read the next few paragraphs in English and then the brachot, timot in Hebrew. Our God and God of our ancestors, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Eternal One, let the holiness of your Sabbath enter our hearts, and may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Makadesh HaShabbat. Over 144. Eternal God, be gracious to your people Israel, and in your love accept their praise. May our worship now and always be acceptable in your sight. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. We give thanks to you, Eternal One, our God, as you were the God of our ancestors. You are the rock of our life, the power that shields us in every age. We thank and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your keeping, for the signs of your presence we encounter every day, your wondrous gifts at all times, morning, noon, and night. Baruch atah Adonai, Hatov shimcha u'lecha na'eh l'chodot.
Sim shalom tova u'bracha. Sim shalom טובה וברכה, אין וחסד ברחמים עלינו, ועל כל ישראל עמך. שים שלום טובה וברכה, שים שלום טובה וברכה, וכן אוהבינו כולנו כאחד באור פניך, כי באור פניך נתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו. שים שלום טובה וברכה, שים שלום טובה וברכה, תורת חיים ואהבת חסד צדקה וברכה, ורחמים וחיים ושלום. שים שלום טובה וברכה, שים שלום טובה וברכה, ותור בניך לברך את עמך ישראל, ואת כל העמים בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שים שלום טובה וברכה, שים שלום טובה וברכה. ברוך אדוני עושה השלום. We made a song for you, especially.
Thank you. I figured it out. But thank you very much.
Let's have a moment of silent prayer, either on 145 or whatever is in your heart right now. Say shalom b'mamav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol bnei Adam. Mosaic shalom b'mamav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol bnei Adam. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
I nearly got up and danced there.
Right, anytime, Kevin.
Are you sure?
You do
do a bit of contact dancing maybe, yeah, on that down the floor, could be good. Just to say, I'm aware that I'm singing, I'm not obeying the book and I'm singing things that aren't marked to be sung, but that is a taste of the future, because the Liberal Synod that's going to be the next will not have those marks in. I was at a session for that a couple of weeks ago, and they feel that for next Synod that's too prescriptive. They want communities to have a choice what to sing. So everything will be open. So, which I think is good, because there's many ways to get the cat right. There's many ways to have a service, and they're really foregrounding options in the new Synod, which I think is really good, and it's a really interesting document. So we are continuing with the Torah service, which can be found on
841.
not 841, but 481. Yes, we did a bingo, couldn't we? 481. Please rise.
En kamocha Elohim Adonai, ve'en kamasecha, malchutecha malchut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha b'chol tov ador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimlach le'olam va'ed, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yavarech es amo v'shalom. Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Gadol Elul Adonai Yisi, Ulonav Shemo Yadav, Lach Adonai, HaGedula, v'HaGevura, v'HaTiferet, v'HaNetzach, v'HaNetzach, Ki chol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz. L'cha Adonai ha'mamlacha v'hamidnaseh l'chol l'rosh. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Once the Torah sits, you can sit. That is the rule of Torah choreography. So today we are reading Parashat Chukat. You'll notice if you read the Parashat column in the JC or some other publication, we are not in sync with much of the Jewish world at the moment. They are on the next one, I forget. No, we're one ahead. We're one ahead because some people do 2 day. There's various cycles. We have 2-day festivals and different Torah readings. So the idea we are one people, so it's not always the case. We have many disagreements on Torah readings. Is one of them. We will catch up in a few weeks. We do end up together. But we're on Parashat Chukat. It's a very interesting parasha, and we'll talk about it more. But it deals with one of the many rebellions, or one of the things the Israelites do wrong. And it's in their demand for water in the desert, and it's an incident with a rock.
Which is in Vermont.
And there's actually, we're in the book of Numbers, and there's an incident of a rock in the book of Exodus. In the book of Exodus, God tells Moses to hit the rock, and it works. And this time, God is quite cruel, you might say, because God says to Moses, hold up your stick, but speak to the rock. It's like a sort of test. And Moses flunks the test because he
he bangs the rock like he did the first time. So he thought it was the same, but something was different. And for that, Moses and Aaron do not get to go into the promised land, and we deal with the death of Aaron in this parashah, and we'll come to that. So we are reading chapter 20, verses 1 to 12, and then we will just skip and do an extra bit, and then we'll do 22 to 29. So in the JPES Tanakh, it can be found on page 329, which is what I'll read first. And then in the Sonsino, it can be found on page 901. 901. Yeah?
So that is, I think, 241, isn't it?
Well, maybe we have a different Tanakh.
Oh, maybe it is.
2 Tanakh.
Actually, I got this one.
Oh, right. But in the JPSA, it's 241.
Oh, this is the JPS. This is the JPSA different.
Yes. You've once got Hebrew and English, and you've
Ah.
got English.
One letter made all the difference.
Yeah.
That naughty A.
Sorry about that.
Does everyone know what page you're on?
Everyone got the page.
So what page was it for Soul Sheet?
901. 901. I think, who would like to do an aliyah? Sim, would you like to do an aliyah? Are you comfortable doing an aliyah and doing the Torah blessing?
Not yet, maybe next time.
Okay, that's fine. Would someone else like to do an aliyah? Benny? Who would like to do an aliyah? Hannah will do an aliyah. Thank you very much. Fantastic. So I'll get you to do the blessing, and then I will read the English. You want to say it first, or you?
Baruch et Adonai HaMavorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMavorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMavorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher bachar banu v'kol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai notei HaTorah.
The Israelites arrived in a body at the wilderness of Zin on the first new moon, and the people stayed at Kadesh. Miriam died there and was buried there. The community was without water, and they joined against Moses and Aaron. And by the way, the tradition is that because Miriam dies and there was no water, the tradition is that Miriam was the carrier of water, and the water accompanied Miriam. That's why many people have a glass at the Seder, Miriam's glass at the Seder plate now. The people quarreled with Moses, saying, "If only we had perished when our brothers perished in the instance of the Lord. Why have you brought the Lord's congregation into this wilderness, for us and our beasts to die there? Why did you make us leave Egypt to bring us to this wretched place, a place with no grain, or figs, or vines, or pomegranates? There is not even water to drink." Moses and Aaron came away from the congregation to the entrance of the tent of meeting, and fell on their faces. The presence of the Lord appeared to them. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "You and your brother Aaron, take the rod and assemble the community, and before their very eyes order the rock to yield its water. Thus you shall produce water for them from the rock and provide drink for the congregation and their beasts." Moses took the rod from before the Lord as he had commanded him. Moses and Aaron assembled the congregation in front of the rock, and he said to them, "Listen, you rebels, shall we get water for you out of this rock?" And Moses raised his hand and struck the rock twice with his rod. Out came copious water, and the community and their beasts drank. But the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Because you do not trust me enough to affirm my sanctity in the sight of the Israelite people, therefore you shall not lead the congregation into the land I have given them." Those are the waters of Meribah, meaning that the Israelites quarrelled with the Lord, through which he affirmed his sanctity. Skipping forward to verse 22, setting out from Kadesh, the Israelites arrived in the body at Mount Hor. At Mount Hor, on the boundary of the land of Edom, the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Let Aaron be gathered to his king. He is not to enter the land that I have assigned to the Israelite people, because you disobeyed my command about the waters of Meribah. Take Aaron and his son Eleazar and bring them out on Mount Hor. Strip Aaron of his vestments and put them on his son Eleazar. There Aaron shall be gathered until the dead." Moses did as the Lord had commanded. They ascended Mount Hor in the sight of the whole community. Moses stripped Aaron of his vestments and put them on his son Eleazar, and Aaron died there on the summit of the mountain. When Moses and Eleazar came down from the mountain, the whole community knew that Aaron had breathed his last. All the house of Israel bewailed Aaron 30 days. Do you want to follow? So you can correct me. Howls. So starting here, you just find it in here a second. ויבואו בני ישראל, כל העדה מתבצעים בחודש הראשון, וישב העם בקדש, ותמת שם מרים, ותבקר שם, ולא היה מים לעדה, יקהלו על משה ועל אהרון, וירב העם עם משה, ויאמרו לאמור, ולא גברנו בגבע אחינו לפני אדוני, ולמה הביאתם את הקהל אדוני אל המטבח הזה למות שם, אנחנו ובירנו, ולמה העליתנו ממצרים להביא אותנו אל המקום הרע הזה, לא מקום זרע ותנא וגפן ורימון ומים, אין לשתות, אין מים אין לשתות. ויבוא משה ואהרון לפני הקהל אל פתח אוכל מועד, יפלו על פניהם, וירא כבוד אדוני עליהם. ידבר אדוני אל משה לאמור, קח את המטה, וקהל את העדה, אתה ואהרון אחיך, ודברתם אל הסלע לעיניהם, נתן מימן, הוצאת להם מים מן הסלע, השקיט את העדה ואת בירם. ויקח משה את המטה מלפני אדוני, כאשר ציווחו, ויקהלו משה ואהרון את הקהל, את פני הסלע. ויאמרו להם, שימו נא המורים, המן הסלע הזה, נוצאים לכם מים. וירם משה את ידו, ויח, נצא והיטי, ויח את הסלע, ומטהו פעמיים, ויצאו מים רבים, ותשת העדה ובירם. ויאמר אדוני אל משה ואל אהרון, יז לא האמנתם בי להקדישני לעיני בני ישראל, לכן לא תביאו את הקהל הזה על הארץ אשר נתתי לכם, המה מי מריבה אשר רבו בני ישראל את אדוני יקדש בם. I'm skipping one paragraph. יסעו מקדש, יסעו מקדש, ויבואו בני ישראל כל העדה הור ההר. יאמר אדוני אל משה אל אהרון בהור ההר על גבול ארץ אדום לאמור. יאסף אהרון אל עמיו, כי לא יבוא אל ארץ אשר נתתי לבני ישראל, על אשר מריתם, על פי למי מריבה. קח את אהרון ואת אליעזר בנו, והעל אותם הור ההר, והפשט את אהרון את בגדיו, והלבשתם את אליעזר בנו, והארץ יאסף ומת שם. ויעש משה כאשר ציווה אדוני, ויעלו אל הור ההר לעיני כל העדה, ויפשט משה את אהרון את בגדיו, וילבוש אותם, ואת אליעזר בנו, ויעמד אהרון שם. בראש ההר ירד משה ואליעזר מן ההר, יראו כל העדה כי גבה אהרון, ויבכו את אהרון 30 יום כל בית ישראל.
ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, נותן התורה.
Amen. Baruch Shenatan Torah Le'amo Yisrael B'Kedushato. Feel free to be seated. just while we're distressing, I just say I find that Aaron's death quite poignant and very sad. And there's this moment that he's, first of all, they take Aaron's priestly clothes off, and only then does Aaron die. So he becomes a normal person. He becomes vulnerable again, and then able to die. And his son has come up to watch him die and take over. There's something of truth or something beautiful in that text. There's some sadness there. Do you want to read us the Haftarah?
The Haftarah this Shabbat is Psalm 95, which you can find in the JPS Tanakh on page 1221. It's not in the Sensina Chumash, but it is, most of it, apart from the last few verses, it is actually in Sudera Hadash on page 70. And I'm reading this Haftarah in loving memory of my father, Reginald Solomon, who died 47 years ago today. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar b'milut v'asar b'divrei amen v'emet. Baruch atah Adonai, harocheh b'torah, u'b'moshe ato, u'b'Yisrael amen, u'b'nbi'ei ha'emet b'tzedek. Come, let us sing joyously to the Lord. Raise a shout for our rock and deliverer. Let us come into his presence with praise. Let us raise a shout for him in song. For the Lord is a great God, the great King of all divine beings. In his hand are the depths of the earth, the peaks of the mountains are his. His is the sea, he made it, and the land which his hands fashioned. Come, let us bow down and kneel. Bend the knee before the Lord our Maker, for he is our God, and we are the people he tends, the flock in his care. Oh, if you would but heed his charge this day. Do not be stubborn as at Meribah, as on the day of Massah in the wilderness, when your fathers put me to the test, tried me, though they had seen my deeds. For 40 years I was provoked by that generation. I thought, they are senseless people, they would not know my ways. Concerning them I swore in anger, they shall never come to my resting place. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, tzur kol ha'olamim, tzadik b'chol ha'barot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer v'osei, ha'mdaber u'mekayim, shekol devarach emet v'tzedek. Al ha'torah, va'al ha'aradah, va'al ha'ne'im, va'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh, shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu, l'kedusha v'limdecha, v'havod u'leteferet. Al ha'kol Adonai Eloheinu, אנחנו מודים לך, ומברכים אותך, יתברך שמך בפי כל חי, תמיד לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת.
So we're the community prayers on page 484. Would someone like to start us off with a prayer for the whole family, please?
Okay. Eternal God, whose dominion embraces the universe, we ask for your blessing for our Sovereign Lady Queen Elizabeth and all the royal family, for those who govern our country and all who influence the quality of its national life. Make them conscious of their responsibility and teach them to exercise it in accordance with your will. May we all help to fashion in this country a society that excels in freedom and justice, tolerance and compassion, so that may be a force for righteousness and peace in the life of humanity.
Okay. Someone else read the prayer for the community? Thank you. Just pause at the bottom of the page and we'll do take names of healing.
Eternal God, as you blessed our ancestors and generations past, bless now this congregation, its leaders and its members, and
and all who enter the synagogue to meet, to study, and to pray. Comfort the sorrowing hearts among us, and heal those in anxiety or pain.
Anyone like to mention at this time?
Yes, my sister-in-law, Amy Taylor, who's very, very ill at the moment. Don't know what's happening. We just pray for her.
Thank you.
Yes, I've got a friend with a tumour, and I'm hoping for the best.
I'm sorry.
And our son Mike, who's progressing reasonably well, but still the future's a bit uncertain.
Anyone else? Just say my partner Gillian, there's nothing perpetuity she's been off the hospital for a few days, so hopefully she'll be recovering. And you want to carry on, thank you.
May we all find here community and friendship, renewal of purpose and hope, a deeper understanding of our heritage, and a sense of your abiding presence. Bless all congregations of the House of Israel throughout the world. Let those who live under oppressive rule soon be free. And may we all unite to witness to your truth and do your will.
Someone else to read the prayer for
Eternal God, our rock and redeemer, grant blessing to the state of Israel, created to fill an age-old dream and to be a haven for the oppressed. Inspire its leaders and its citizens with faithfulness to the aims of its founders to develop the land for the benefit of all its inhabitants, and to implement the prophetic ideals of liberty and justice. May they live in harmony with one another and in peace with their neighbours, and cause to come true once more the ancient vision that out of Zion shall go forth Torah and the word of God in Jerusalem.
Amen. We continue at the first of page 486. Hallelujah, Shem Adonai, Ki niskab Shemo Labado, Odo Aleres B'Shamayim, V'yarek Keren Ne'amo, Te'ila, L'chol Chasida, Livnei Yisrael, Am Karov. Hallelujah, hallelujah. And on page 489. Ki lecha tov nasati lahem, Torati atazoru. Eis hayim chi lamazikin ba, v'tomchecha me'usha deraheha lahenoam v'chol netivoteha Shalom Hashivenu Adonai Elecha V'nashuva Kadesh Yameinu Yameinu Kadesh Yameinu Please be seated. So, and we can do a little bit of text study together, and it's about Aaron and his death. But I don't think his death gets as much publicity as Moses. Moses is the one everyone knows about, right? The end of the Torah. Less talked about, but also the idea of Aaron as a model of leadership, which is something which I think is a creation of the rabbis, and in contrast to much of non-Jewish world where strength is important and military prowess, the rabbinic model is something quite different, I think. The scholarly model the teacher of Torah, and as we will see, the promoter of peace. And for the rabbis, Aaron is the kind of archetype of that. And we're going to look at a few texts that show that. And I think we've lost that a bit, and I think in the modern Jewish world, the kind of in the 60s, like Moshe Dayan and Paul Newman playing in Exodus became this kind of like the heroes of the new Jews. But I think there's something great in the original model of the peacemaker and the kind of like a more gentle type of masculinity as well. So it's been a while. I don't know if you've done this before, having sorted. I'm sure you have, but not since I've been here. So if you want to pass these out, won't take long. Don't read it all at once. Some of the score sheets gives it all away. So this is all taken off the last line of the parashah that we read, and the rabbis can write a book on 3 words, and they do. And that's probably because they're trying to write a different book, and they're just using hooks to say what they really want to say. So, so someone should read the English of the first source.
The whole community knew that Aaron had breathed his last. All the house of Israel bewailed Aaron 30 days.
So, because it says Kol Beit Yisrael, all the house of Israel, in contrast to when Moses died, which says something like Israel, the rabbis deduced that he was particularly loved by all the people of Israel. Sorry, the font's gone a bit haywire, but in Hebrew. But okay, so let's find out why. And then what Rashi says in the next source. Can someone read the next source in English?
They wept for Aaron, even all the house of Israel, all both men and women, because Aaron used to pursue peace and promoted love between contending parties and between man and wife.
So Rashi thinks the Kol, Beit Israel, means not only men, but both men and women, because Aaron was some kind of marriage counsellor. And he was very popular, he sorted out everyone's problems. Okay? So this is not in the biblical text, this is extra to it, but I think it's something important to say. So let's go on to the next source, which is from Pirkei Avot, which is from about year 200. This is part of the Mishnah, and this is the great set of proverbs of the rabbis. Somebody?
I don't mind if nobody else.
Please.
Hillel and Shammai received the oral tradition from them. Hillel used to say, "Be of the disciples of Aaron, loving peace and pursuing peace, loving mankind and drawing them close to the Torah."
This is a saying of Rabbi Hillel. And I think what's going on here is that Hillel makes Aaron like himself. Hillel is a peacemaker. Hillel is a gentleman. Hillel is a scholar. And just as the rabbis reinvent Jacob to be a yeshiva bocher, they reinvent Aaron to be a kind of... I'm okay. When I say reinvent, I don't mean that negatively. I mean that as actually quite positively, because I think I'd much rather have a yeshiva bocher than I would have some kind of warrior. So I think that they're doing important work. And when we talk about Jewish values, it's often rabbinic values, really. The Torah, the written Torah itself is quite militaristic and quite tribal, and the rabbis are often doing something different. So Hillel says that Aaron loved peace and pursued it. He loved people. It actually says Ohev et habriot, which means love all creation. So that could be animals as well. And he drew everyone close to the Torah. So now let's go to Avot of Rabbi Natan, which is a commentary on Pirkei Avot, and it dates from between 600 and 900, so after the close of the Talmud and the early period of the Gaonim, which was the geniuses who lived in Baghdad. So that's the kind of, it's a very classic source. So would someone like to read this? Not too fast, please. Someone like to read the next one?
When Aaron went on his way and a wicked person encountered him, Aaron greeted him. The next day that man wanted to commit sin, but thought, woe is to me, How will I raise my eyes afterwards and look at Aaron? I am ashamed before him, for he greeted me. When two people quarrelled with Aaron, went and sat down with one of them and said to him, My son, know that your friend has said, I'm ashamed before him because I've sinned against him. Aaron would sit with him until he had dispelled the ill feeling from his heart. Then Aaron would go and sit with the other one, saying to him, Know that your friend is saying, Woe is to me, how shall I raise my eyes and look at my friend? I'm ashamed before him, because I have sinned against him. Aaron would sit with him until he had dispelled the ill feeling from his heart. When the two friends later met, they embraced and kissed each other.
So does everyone get what's going on? That Aaron's doing the classic thing, going to one party and saying, the other one really wants to make up. No, he doesn't. And then the other one says, the other one really wants to make up. And because they believe him, they get together. So it's interesting this, that the doing of peace can involve lying or white lies or manipulating the truth for the greater good of peace. And this is a kind of a role model if it brings people together, if it gets them out of their headstrongness and their kind of petty squabble. That can be important. Just in the first text in that, the first story I find quite interesting. So this wicked person is going along, I really want to commit a sin today. I'm so ready to commit to sin. I've got it in my head. And Aaron just kind of says, Hi, how you doing? And presumably Aaron knows this person is a bit wicked, and perhaps Aaron can see on their face that they're going to commit some kind of sin. But because Aaron just greets them with positivity and with love, perhaps, they feel unable to sin. And there's other stories about this, because Aaron refuses to treat people as wicked, they become less wicked. There's some kind of truth in that if you treat people as if they're going to be good, if they will do justly, they're more likely to do so because they don't want to let you down. I think there is something, but this is quite an interesting. Aaron's a bit of a relativist. Aaron's not concerned with absolute truth. Aaron's concerned with what works and how to make things better, which I think is an interesting model of leadership. I find it really plausible. It's not about strict justice. It's about mercy and kindness and how far those things can get you. Let's read the penultimate one, or the next bit about the Rabbi Natan. Yeah?
There were thousands in Israel who were called by the name Aharon, for if not for Aaron, they would not have come into the world. Aharon made peace between husband and wife, so that they came together, and they named the child that was born after him.
It was such a good marriage counsellor that it results in many births, and they feel obliged to just compete. Anecdote, in Kosovo, there are many children called, one word, Tony Blair. That's their first name, because Tony was the hero of the Kosovo independence movement in the war against Serbia. So he's held. So it's quite interesting. That's complete trivia for you. Okay, and this last source is a bit more is a bit more unusual, and this comes quite a lot later, from the 16th century, in the cycles of Isaac Luria, and it's about how maybe not everyone is a peacemaker even if they think they are. So someone would like to read Midrash Shmuel on the Vod.
It is possible that he said, "Be you the students of Aaron," and did not just say, "Be a lover of peace," since every person in their own eyes is a lover of peace, and even if he is a person of strife and conflict, he does not see any fault in himself. Therefore, he held in the Mishnah that to give clear guidance, saying, so long as you are not like Aaron, you are not a lover of peace.
So everybody thinks that they believe in peace, right? But do they do the distance? Do they do the compromise, the hard work of bringing people together and solving their arguments? And I think to believe in peace, it means that you believe in peace more than anything else. So you say, okay, I've got you other really important causes, but I'm willing to let them go, or let them go partially in order to achieve something greater. If you don't do that, you're not really believing in peace, because you believe in everything more. And that's much harder to do. So I just think it's interesting that peace, or peacemaking, is not woolly. It's not soft. It's not the easy option. It's often the hard option.
It offers all sorts of compromise and not getting what you want, and no one getting what they want. But maybe it's needed sometimes. And I think, like I just mentioned, the kind of Jewish leadership, but in a wider world, in Britain today, where people seem to be seeking a leader that will just like demand what we as a country want, and if they don't hear it, we'll say it louder. And we'll just say it again, whatever. Maybe we do need kind of more diplomatic voices and people who are willing to kind of do the difficult work of listening and compromise, even when no one is happy with the result. It's not an easy job being Aaron, but somebody has to do it. So maybe Moses wouldn't have been Moses without him having him next to him. So those are my thoughts. Does anyone else want to add anything to that? Yes?
I did read somewhere recently that, in the portion we read, Moses struck the rock and called the people who read this, and it was harmonic, wasn't it? Donkeys. But in any case, one of the explanations for disobeying God was because his sister had just died and his brother was going to die and the people were mourning yet again, and he lost it. He absolutely lost it. And that leads me on to the fact that the death of Mary is in a time of this life. And I'm glad you mentioned about the water, because water is not just water, it's symbolic. And that's very clear. So I really feel for Moses on this parsha. He's lost his older sister who rescued him from the fire, and his brother who kept the peace. It was very, very tough.
I read recently, perhaps you read it too, but there was a Devar Torah by a student rabbi, rabbi now, Naomi Goldman.
That's the one.
You read it too?
Yeah, that's
So you're referring to the same thing. So Naomi says that Moses is suffering from trauma, from the loss of Miriam, and hasn't had a chance to process that. And what's nice, she says that the word Miriam is the same letters as Miriam, in a different order. So that, like, because the word doesn't happen anywhere else in the Torah. So no one gets to process anything. And I think there's lots of that. And the Psalms of Genesis are also about trauma passed down generations because no one can express it. And these aren't heroes. These are flawed people that we feel for, and we sympathise with, and we kind of journey with them. We're on this constant journey with the kind of, it's the same difference. I go.
Also, Moses had to take some advice from his father-in-law as well, because he couldn't cope at that stage as well.
Right.
So he's more of a flawed character really than Aaron, and it must have been a terrible thought. He was traumatised through the journey.
It can't have been easy.
And it's amazing the tradition really avoids any hero worship of Moses. Like, the burial site isn't known. In the Haggadah, for example, in the traditional Haggadah, he's not mentioned at all. So it's all about the journey. There's awareness that that's a danger that could happen.
And also, might be getting mixed up here, but weren't Aaron's sons punished for something?
Yeah, there's different sons. So there's a kind of, around the Korach incident, they do engage in some, is it Korach? There's some kind of strange fire that his sons make.
Yeah.
He's got other sons. So the son in this one is a different son,
Oh, I see.
I believe.
So he had a lot of sons, presumably.
Yeah.
So it was to tell the story of his bad sons.
Yeah.
But
Yes, yeah, that's right. That's right.
there's always a message there.
Yeah. So lots of interesting stuff. I mean, it's rich, but every parasha, most of the parasha, some of them are quite hard going, but generally I find that you start off and you're not sure what to go, and the more you engage in it, turn it, and all is in it, as they say. Like you find this, I also like the idea of the rock, the hitting this rock, and there's something about violence in that even to a rock, the most inanimate object, you shouldn't be using violence. You shouldn't be talking. And there's something in that around God's, and the way when the Israelites come out of Egypt, God makes sure that God does the violence, and the Israelites aren't allowed to do it themselves. And it's almost some sort of training, I think, for non-violence and kind of non-aggression, which I think is a Jewish ideal. This is Safari. I recommend it. I'll leave the service. It's a very good resource. If you want to put together a source sheet, Safari has got wonderful all the Jewish sources, and you can select, and you do a bit of work as well, but worth doing. So I'll continue. If there's no one else has anything to add, we will continue with the Aleinu.
No anthem.
There will be no anthem.
Yeah,
You've had enough of me already. And we continue with the Aleinu on page 520. We'll chant it all the first bit. So please stand if you can. 5, 2, 0. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol la'tet gdula li'oseh bereshit asher sem ha'keinu le'ahel el shemo v'gor aleinu l'chamif malkuto v'anachnu kol'im u'mashtachavim u'modim lifnei melech alchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ ומשאב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים הוא אלוהינו ועינות אמת מלכנו את בזולתו כך כתוב בתורתו ידעת היום בהשיבות אל לבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ נתחת עינו. Let's read together on page 521. Trusting in you, eternal God, you have soon to behold the glory of your might, and when false gods will vanish from our hearts, and idolatry cease forever. Help us to perfect the world by dominion under your unchallenged rule. When all will invoke your name, relinquish evil, and turn to you alone. May all who dwell on earth come to know that to you every knee must bend, and every tongue swear loyalty. Before you let them humble themselves, to your glorious name let them give honour. Let all submit to your sovereign rule. May that time come soon and last forever. For ultimate sovereignty is yours, and to all eternity you will reign in glory. As it is written, the eternal one shall reign forever. V'nema v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol ha'aretz bayom ha'hu Yeh Adonai Echad U'shemo Echad. Created universe, you give us life in which joys and sorrows can mingle in accordance with your wisdom, and you send death with promised eternal peace. Teach us to accept humbly and courageously whatever burden is laid upon us. Comfort those who mourn and let the light of faith illumine the darkness of the sorrow with the hope of mortality. Strengthen us at all times with unfailing trust in your providence. And we think today of those Aviot at this time: Phil Applebaum, father of Mavis Carr, Lauren Miriam Morby, daughter of Lynn Morby and of Gary Morby, Archie Shapiro, friend of Janet Russell, Reginald Solomon, father Alan Solomon, Susan Spencer, wife of Howard Spencer, Diane Wilton, wife of Gerald Wilton. May all their memories be for blessing. And we say in the memories of all who passed away, including those that don't have anyone to say Kaddish for them, we say the Kaddish on page 524. Kadal v'kadash shemei rabba, onmai v'rachotei v'yamich machotei, chaychon v'yomichon, v'ayed kol beit Israel, v'agala zman karim v'yamru amen. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולמי עמיה, יתברא וישתבח ויתפאר בשלומם ויתנשא, יתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה ברכו, לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, וישבחתה ונחמתה, כי אמירם גאלה ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה משמיה, חיים עלינו ולכל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום וקרמה, הוא יעשה שלום. עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל בני אדם, יאמרו אמן.
Please be seated. We're going to conclude with Yaribon, which can be found on page 647. 647. Some wit once said that Jewish services or recitation of page numbers were present between, I'm not sure who it was, lots of pages. 647. 2, 3. Yaribon olam ve'almaya ve'almaya Antu malka melech machaya melech machaya Oved gevuratek v'timchaya Shapi kadma L'chachavaya Yaribon olam ve'almaya ve'almaya Antu malka melech malkaya melech malkaya Shevachin asadeh safra v'ramsha safsha ramshalak Elaha kadisha divara kol nafsha Irin kadishin uvanei enasha Hevat bara ve'ofei shamaya Yaribon olam ve'almaya ve'almaya Antu malka melech malkaya melech malkaya Rav Divin ovnayik v'tivkikin v'takifin Machech ramaya v'zakef kefifin v'zakef kefifin Lu yehei gava Shenin alafin Lo yoel gevuratek B'chushbanaya Yanananana Yaribon olam ve'almaya ve'almaya Antu malka melech malkaya melech malkaya Baruch atah v'orecha u'baruch atah b'setecha Adonai yishma sitchecha u'vorecha me'atah v'ed olam. Blessed may you be when you come in, and blessed be when you come out. In the eternal one, God, you're going out and you're coming in, now and always. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Before we go to Kiddush, we're not in any hurry because we've got our food bank Kiddush next door. I'm sure you'd all like to join and thank Joseph for a wonderful service. It's a lot of energy and education. It actually resonates with me some services at the Wembley Orthodox. There was a few touches from that, which was nice to bring that back, as well as the human touch as well. So thank you. I know you're due to do a service in August as well.
That's right.
Let you know exactly the date you retire. And I think with Frank's retirement, I think we've got someone who can fill in on a regular basis. So you will be asked again, and we won't be too demanding about anthems and other things. So we're just grateful to have your input. And just to mention that this Friday service at Maria Landau's house, she's hosting the service. So if you'd like to turn up, you can let the office and myself know, and then also give you the details. And there's a few complications with access to a property. So if you'd let us, one of us know. And next Shabbat we've got student Rabbi Lev Taylor. I don't even remember him from last time. Again, he has his own sort of unique touch.
He's great.
Yes.
Yeah, a good friend. He's a lovely guy.
Yeah, and so really is worth. And also we've got a special prayer for our guest Sim.
I will
Shalom.
respond to that if I may.
Yes.
Just a few words. First of all, thank you very much for this lovely song. And I find it a bit funny that we with the Rabbi got absolutely exactly the same cat. Which is part of a good...
no coincidences.
I don't believe in coincidence, really. So there's something there. But thank you very much for welcoming me, really, and I'm looking forward to assisting the community further.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please. So next door we've got our modest kiddish. But if everyone wants to have a big nosh, you can go downstairs as well. Or you can do both.
I won't be a traitor.
No, not at all. You're welcome to. You very much so.
Yeah, sure.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you. It's refreshing, in spite of what everybody else says. It's more convenient than the other one. So it's Jewish. It's Jewish.
Good, that should be.
Yeah, so it should be.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so it's sort of emotional in a way. Thank you.
Oh, no.
How often do you do it?
Hang on, I think it's August the 3rd. Are you coming next time?
Check it out.
I'm not sure when that
No, it doesn't matter. I'm not being,
Yeah. No, nothing else.
Because I don't normally come on the first Saturday of the month.
Yeah.
So if I go next door, I go home. I don't go to the stupid one we have here, which is just us. I can't believe it.
We're downstairs now.
I'll go downstairs.
Are you moaning again?
Yes, I'm moaning.
Good boy.
We're having this issue next door.
It's such a pleasure, and I think, can I just... I think it's the same...
quite the same.
No, it's actually the same colour.
It's the same colour?
Just look.
And one is more fresh.
Yeah, but it's the same style.
Very similar.
So good.
Yeah.
I just want the camera very much welcome. It was a real pleasure to see yourself much different from the others.
I'm not being taken.
I'm really happy on the site.
You say you're moving nearby?
I actually moved for it was 1 year and a half ago. So I'm just here.
I live in Bournemouth. I just moved here myself.
So it's which one? I'm on a bucket.
Bournemouth is the next one. Paradise.
See, I don't believe in Christmas. They're becoming too much. I don't know what's happening, but I will be happy to help whatever I may. I'm a mortgage advisor. I'm helping all the just reduce according to the first home. I'm doing this carpet. And congratulations.
I've already bought somewhere now, so I'm
No, it's not about that. It's not about that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Generally, it would be nice. I sometimes donate. Charlie was the one that introduced me here. I'm very grateful.
Very nice.
I hope that I will be.
Did you read
Well, actually, my father myself. Although he wasn't Bulgarian,
They were on holiday at the time. They were down
but very well.
on holiday. And I
Being
got a
here
phone
there with the podcast, not really my thing. I just came, and I really enjoyed the service.
Oh, thank
But
you.
I'm sure we'll speak again.
Of course. Definitely. I'm here almost every week.
It's easy, even you can come to my house or whatever.
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes. It's amazing.
Yes, it's amazing. How long have you been here?
Really, only like 2 weeks. Like
2 weeks. Okay.
Then I just moved here.
That's fine.
Oh, yeah, because we've got another bag.
Do you want to get rid of it all this week?
Leave it for a bit. Right.
I really enjoyed, so thank you very much for this.
Good.
And it's funny, I just made a joke with the cat, but it's I checked with the rabbi, it's absolutely one to one.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Amazing.
And you just moved to the next street.
Where do you live? Which
I live.
Yes, just
I just
second, I'll
yeah,
come
fine,
with you.
fine.
Actually, I'll come now.
That's fine. I just live actually 5 minutes.